what's going on, everybody? In today's video, I wanted to share with you the top 5 mistakes to avoid if you're brand new to selling books on Amazon. If you don't know who I am, my name is Steve. I've been selling on Amazon for over 10 years. Last year, I sold over $700,000 worth of products on Amazon, including books, DVDs, all different types of niches. But specifically in this video, I wanted to share with you these 5 mistakes to avoid. 5 mistakes that could really hurt you if you do these things. These mistakes could get you sued. It can cost you hundreds of thousands of dollars. It can cost you your Amazon account, and it can cost you a lot of money. So be sure to watch this video in full. And if you're excited about learning how to make money selling on Amazon, flipping books, smash that like button. Without further ado, let's dive into today's video. All right, mistake number 1, and this is the biggest mistake that you need to avoid if you're selling books on Amazon, especially textbooks, is you need to make sure not to sell textbooks that are deemed likely to be counterfeit. Because I'm telling you right now, you might think to yourself, okay, Amazon's letting me sell this book. It's not restricted. There's no issues. I could sell this textbook. Amazon's literally letting me list it and sell it, and I'm going to sell it for $100. But guess what? There are books out there that Amazon will let you sell, but if you sell them, law firms can literally sue you. I've had friends that have had to pay $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 because they got sued. But guess what? I'm going to tell you and share with you an easy way that you could prevent ever buying a textbook that can get you in trouble. Are you ready for the website? So the website is Books Run. And specifically what you need to do is go to Google and type in Books Run Counterfeit Calculator. And I've made videos about this. I'll link another video down below, but it's very simple. Go to this website. It's 100% free. And all you have to do is type in the ISBN number, and this website will tell you if it's likely, very likely, or unlikely to be a counterfeit. I'm telling you right now, if you sell textbooks that are likely or very likely to be counterfeit, even though it could be real, you're going to get into big trouble. Do not sell these books. It's a bunch of BS. Amazon should not allow you to be able to sell these books, but they do. And law firms are literally attacking innocent Amazon sellers who are just going to thrift stores and library sales and selling books that maybe they are counterfeit. But I'm just telling you right now, never, ever sell a textbook on Amazon without using this website. I promise you, over 10 years of experience, do not make this mistake. Mistake number 2, this is a huge mistake that I see a lot of new Amazon booksellers make, is they're selling their books FBA, but they're not looking at the merchant prices, okay? So what I see a lot of people do is they buy a whole bunch of books that Scoutly or Scout IQ says to buy, right? It goes ding, it says buy it, and guess what? The books aren't actually that profitable. They might be a 3 million rank, and they might be making $15 profit, but the freaking app is telling you that you're going to sell it for 40, but if you look, all the merchants are at like $5, $6, $7. Be very careful. Never, ever fully trust any of these apps. Scout IQ, Scoutly, it doesn't matter. All these softwares are great. They can help you out, but there's always flaws with these softwares. I'm telling you right now, one of the biggest mistakes is buying these books that have a huge merchant to FBA gap. Now, you could certainly sell books for $35, $40 and the merchants are at $5 or $6, but a lot of times you can get away with it because these books are selling faster, right? Maybe they're 100,000 rank, 500,000 rank, a million, right? And this is obviously just a general rule. I know someone's going to be like, well, I sold a 5 million rank book. The merchants were at 5. I sold it for 60. Yes, there are exceptions to the rule, but you don't want to get in the habit of buying books that are just overexposed by a huge prime gap. Like, really, you want to try to find books where the merchants are at 15 and you're trying to sell it for 20, or the merchants are at 40 and you're trying to sell it for 60. You see how it's kind of closer? It makes more sense. Whereas, you know, sometimes these apps will tell you it's profitable and maybe you could sell it, but a good chance is, yeah, maybe you could sell it at the $40, but what happens when an FBA seller sees the merchants at 7 and they price it at 20, and then the next person comes at 19 and the price just tanks? The faster the seller, the more you can get away with these prime gaps. And again, this is just a general rule of thumb, right? There's obviously exceptions to the rule, but just be careful being overly exposed. I see people all the time, they have 2,000 books in their inventory and they have a freaking 7% sales turnover per month, and it's like, why are my books not selling? And it's because your books have tanked in price, they're really slow selling. I'll get more into mistakes that go along with like sales rank and whatnot, but just be careful just having way too big of a merchant versus FBA prime gap. The bigger the gap and the slower it sells, the higher chance, I would say, of that book tanking in price. So try to get the merchant and FBA price a little bit closer. That's going to really solidify that price and reduce the price tank. Mistake number 3, and let's talk a little bit about sales rank. What you have to understand about sales rank is only a snapshot in time of how fast or slow a book is selling. You could literally have a book that is a 5 million sales rank, but it could actually sell tomorrow because maybe that book sells maybe once or twice per year. You could also have a book on the other side of the coin that's a 150,000 sales rank, but guess what? Maybe that book has only sold once a couple days ago, so the rank dropped from 4 million down to 100,000, but it's really a 3 or a 4 million rank book. So be very careful when it comes to looking at the sales rank. Really what you want to do is you want to look at the amount of monthly sales, and to go a step further, you want to dive into Keepa, because Keepa will share with you the full story, the full price history. You can see all the green drops on the Keepa chart. You can see how often it's selling. You could dive into the buy box statistics, see how often the buy box is rotating, who's winning the sales, who's been on the listing before and who's not. I mean, you don't have to go that deep, but really Keepa will share with you the price history and how often it's selling. So don't just discriminate on a book, or don't fall in love with a book just because the sales rank is amazing, right? You want to dive a little bit deeper, and Keepa is an absolute game changer for that. Mistake number 4. Not checking your book's condition before you check out with the item. So if you're at a thrift store, if you're at a library sale, make sure to go through the book. Make sure there's no pages ripped out. You know, make sure there's not like a massive amount of highlighting on the book. And I would say even go one step further, and this is probably even more important, is make sure the book that you scanned with Scout IQ or Scoutly or Amazon Seller App, whatever you're using, make sure the book that you're holding in your hand actually matches up with the book that's on the actual sales page that you scanned, because sometimes these apps will pull the wrong UPC or the wrong ASIN or the wrong ISBN number, and you'll actually have the wrong book. So when you go to list it at home, you're like, what the heck? This wasn't even the same book that I purchased. So make sure it's a match, right? So it's the same item, but also make sure it's not destroyed. Make sure the binding's not like absolutely mutilated, or there's not water damage. If the binding's really screwed up, pages are ripped out, water damage, I will not buy the item. I will flip a book if there's, you know, some highlighting, or sometimes like the DVD or CD that comes with the book isn't there. I'll mention it. I'll still sell it. Sometimes I'll sell it as like acceptable or good, but check the condition. And also when you're listing your items, I try to under promise and over deliver. I wouldn't over deliver and under promise. What I mean by that is if the book is good, don't say it's like new. If the book is, you know, acceptable, don't put it as good, right? Because you will get more returns and more complaints, and you want to keep your feedback good. And last but not least, mistake number 5, don't be greedy and do something crazy like selling your used books as new. This is the fastest, quickest way to literally get your Amazon account freaking suspended or deactivated. I sell other products as new, like DVDs, I sell them new and there's no issues. I sell board games new, office supplies, electronics, tools, video games as new. I don't have any issues, but for some reason when it comes to books and publishers, I don't know why. Maybe it's because they want to just keep freaking scamming the heck out of everybody. I don't know what the issue is, but these publishers are absolutely insane. So they will come after you for counterfeits, and they will come after you for you selling books as new. Okay, so sell your books as used. Even if the book is brand new and it's sealed, I wouldn't sell it new unless you have a really good invoice from a trusted distributor, right? And this is coming from somebody who buys all their stuff from thrift stores, from eBay, garage sales. I'm telling you right now, you can certainly flip items on Amazon without invoices. I sold over 6,000 just in the last year, over 50,000 in the last 10 years. So you don't need invoices, but just when it comes to books, please run your books through Books Run Counterfeit Calculator to make sure it doesn't come up as likely or very likely. And don't sell your books as new. I'm telling you, it's a recipe for disaster. If you guys enjoyed this video and you found value, be sure to smash that like button. And if you want to learn more about how to sell books on Amazon, I do have a free 5-hour workshop. First link down below, rakeandprofit.com/workshop. It'll be there, one of the links, and it's a 5-hour training. It's 100% free. Teach you how to source, how to list, how to ship, everything, right? So if you want to learn how to do this, maybe if you're new or you want to sharpen up your skills, definitely check out that free training. And if you want to learn how to be able to source items like books and DVDs 100% from home like I do, I don't really thrift as much as I used to. I don't hit the library sales as much as I used to. Sometimes I do because I love it, but I source 99% of my items nowadays from eBay to Amazon, and I use a tool called Replen Catcher. So Replen Catcher essentially searches millions of products on eBay and compares them to Amazon. So for example, we're tracking over 700,000 books. Any book that comes up that can make you $10, $15, $20 profit, 50, 60, 70, 80% ROI, you could choose a filter. Those items will pop up, and then you could buy the items on eBay, have it shipped to your house, and sell it on Amazon. This is how I source pretty much all of my items. How I sold over $700,000 in the last year on Amazon was mostly from eBay to to Amazon, flipping books and DVDs and all different types of items. So feel free to check out Replen Catcher. I'll put a code down below, Replen10, if you want to try that out on a free 14-day trial. But with that being said, I appreciate you guys. Much love, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.